Hey, my name is Sherman Witcher. I'm from Franklin County, Virginia, and I'm running for state senate in the 20th District of Virginia.
Yep.
And I'm running because I feel that this community needs a voice that will take their problems, thoughts, actions to Richmond and have Richmond come back here and listen. Too long we've been a silent partner in this state, the lower part of the state, and we need someone who's willing to go in the community and ask the hard question, what do you need? What can we do for the community, and actually make it happen?
Now, do you think because we're in the almost now the forgotten section of the state, it's going to take a lot more effort because all the population centers are moving up towards Northern Virginia? The districts, as they go along, will just get bigger and bigger and have less and less people. How do we not be forgotten by Richmond and the rest of the state?
Easy. We still eat. We still have to wear clothes. We still have to do a lot of the things that take the land that we have down here to support the state. So we can take what we have and make it work, because the field, from the field to the plate dream is still out there. We got desolate land from here almost to Richmond that is going unused, and it's just a land, a wasteland. We need to get back into what we've been accustomed to, productivity. Take this land, take it back, and make it work for us. Grow the foods we have, use it and sell the excess, and be more accountable and reliable on ourselves instead of someone else.
So what do you think about, you were right, I didn't think about that, the land unused, because we depend on our food someplace else. Some other place, it takes thousands of miles to get here. What is the benefits to the community in the area and Virginia itself, keeping things local?
Well, you get fresh food. You get a food that you can control and know what's about, and you don't have to worry about bringing in diseases and all these different chemicals that are put on to preserve it to make it last longer. You can get it to your plate within days, not weeks. And then you can control your product. And when you can control your product, you control the funds and the money.
Yes, I remember in the news recently about some certain pesticides being used that have been claimed to be a very serious problem. And I suppose if you had sustainable farming, more people involved with their land, it would probably be less of a problem.
Yes, and we need to take control to create jobs. We've been waiting on some foreigner to bring a job in. We have the people, we have the supply, and we have the land. Make it work. Take what we have and use it to make it work, create jobs, create the viable income that we need in this district to create jobs for our kids, and so they can want to stay here. If they want to stay here by choice, not by force. So we create a job, and that's what we after. Use what we have, and then we see what we need to do from that point on.
Do you have any ideas what the future could hold as far as jobs that could be built in this area? What we're lacking, or what the possibilities are for here? Because we are losing people. People are growing up and going elsewhere. We want to keep them here, hopefully.
Well, the computer era and the cyber era, everybody has went out there on that. What we need to start back looking at, we still are people. And until we cease to exist, we got to work, or we need to do things to keep our bodies in shape and our minds in shape. So we are a needed asset to what we need. We got people, we got land, we got the motivation, and we got the know-how. Go back to what we used to do. Make it work. We got land. Create jobs on this land by creating products that will go from the field to the plate, because you can have equipment sales, you got people that can work the product, and you got the manufacturing side of it, you got the food vendor side of it, and you got the computer side of it, where people, it's going to take the knowledge to put this knowledge in computers to control and keep all that information in a circle. So we have the same thing that we have up north. Only thing about it, we just in a farming environment, where they're in a manufacturing environment. But you can put manufacturing down here, clothing all down here, because it used to be a manufacturing area. And somewhere along the line, as leaders, we forgot that if we do not look to the future will bypass us, and I think that's what happened to these jobs. They were underappreciated and overlooked, and then before you know it, everybody was out of a job, but we didn't change. I can't see where we changed much of anything. We still eat, we still wear clothes, so how is it that we don't have a job?
I was curious. I talked to somebody in the healthcare field recently about this, and they mentioned the fact that, well, it looks like we're going to have a lack of people to make sure that we're healthy. You know, nurses, doctors, the support system, hospitals. They mentioned actually some of the hospitals that had closed in certain parts of Virginia, including, I think, some nearby hospital. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, oh my gosh. Yes, they lost their hospital. They've got an urgent care now, they said, but do you see that the state can help out anyway? Any incentives they can develop if the General Assembly and the governor's office get together and say, you know, maybe we could help your loans, ease your loans a little bit if you go to whatever, Lee County or someplace for a year or two and help out there. You think that is an idea that can be worked out or something like that? Have you ever thought about what can we have? Because people are going to grow up, grow old, and then they're going to age and hurt and pain, and we need something to protect them along the way.
Well, you have a two-part, three-part answer there. We'll start with how do we have our kids trained for these jobs? I think we need to look at the infrastructure of the school to make sure that we look at the surrounding areas and what type of jobs are out here and start training our kids when they're in high school to work these jobs. I would think, you know, they have these things in place where they call it, it's already where they're training the kids to do that, but I don't think they're putting enough emphasis in it because they started, oh, let's go to college and let's not do hands-on. Hands-on jobs like electronics, electricity, any kind of job, carpenter, plumbers. I think we need to train the kids in the school to do these jobs as well as give them the opportunity to go to college. But if they get these jobs under their belt, they already trained from the day they leave high school to go out into the work world and work. Any of these jobs that in your community, make sure that you survey the community and do jobs that will fit the workforce that's coming out. And I think that will solve this problem we have. And that will give the kids the opportunity to stay here if they want to. But if they feel they need to go on to college to do another career as doctors, lawyers, stuff like that, they still have the opportunity to go on to college, and you leaving by choice, not by force. And then we'll have a pattern there so you can do dual work if you want to come or go, but the community will survive and it will thrive. Now, on the healthcare situation, yes, up in Patrick County, the hospital closed a couple of years ago. I have an idea that maybe they got a building up there that's a $6 million building, and I surveyed this area, and they got their fire department and different places like that. In far as my concern, little hut buildings about to fall down. I think we should do a command center, invite a big venue like Korean or someone else or Central to come in and partner with them to do a command center and give the Senate package so you can get the doctors, nurses to all come in and try to get that facility up and going. And if it can't do it on that level, make it a command center and use the paramedics that go out on their fire truck and their rescue squad, let them do it, and then helicopter them out to the around this area, Senate vicinities.
Good, great. Okay, we'll continue with hopefully. I'd like to hear about the process of running for office. I hear it's not as easy as you think, so we'll talk to you about that in just a minute. Okay?
All right.